Welcome to the Chapter 1 summary video. In addition to the student summary guide provided for each chapter, a short 2-minute summary video can also be found at the end of each chapter. These will be helpful tools for a quick review before tests. Just like this one. Diversity involves representing different people, identities, and perspectives. Inclusion means sharing power and creating a welcoming environment. Equity focuses on removing barriers to opportunities and growth. Together, they form strategies for justice, achieved when systemic barriers are removed and Indigenous people and equity-denied groups experience equitable outcomes. The conversation about diversity often lacks a focus on equity and justice. It doesn't always address power imbalances or remove systemic barriers that cause unfairness. Effort should go beyond celebrating diversity to actively pursuing justice. Equality means treating everyone the same, but it doesn't consider the unique challenges faced by certain groups. Equity means giving everyone what they need, ensuring fairness for all. And justice happens when all barriers are removed. Some ideas about power and control are taught by society. Different systems of oppression can lead to some people being marginalized, while others gain power and privilege. Positionality is the idea that our social differences, like race, gender, and class, affect our identities and opportunities. We use different lenses throughout the textbook. The intersectional lens explains how various forms of oppression linked to social identity are connected. These systems are rooted in cultural and historical contexts, showing that different oppressions are intertwined and can't be seen in isolation. For example, someone could experience oppression as the intersection of sexism, racism, classism, and ableism. The anti-oppressive practice lens acknowledges oppression exists at individual, interpersonal, structural, and cultural levels. The goal is liberation from various intersecting oppressions. The lens of inclusive practice is concerned with how we develop and design our schools, classrooms, and educational programs so that all students, regardless of social location, are supported to learn, feel valued, can see themselves and their experiences reflected in the classroom, and are able to contribute and participate in all aspects of the learning environment. An anti-ableist lens uses accessibility as a means for eliminating barriers that people with disabilities encounter, whether attitudinal, technological, physical, systemic, or related to information and communication. Anti-racism challenges racism and related oppressions in society by targeting white supremacy and colonialism as roots of systemic racism. At its core is critical race theory, which reveals how racism is woven into social structures like law, social services, and education. A trauma-informed lens is a strengths-based approach that integrates an understanding of responsiveness to the impact of trauma by emphasizing physical, psychological, and emotional safety for everyone, and particularly for trauma survivors. A cultural safety lens addresses systemic power imbalances that result in significant health and social inequities between Indigenous and non-Indigenous people, creating an environment where Indigenous peoples feel safe and free to express their cultural identities without racism and discrimination. Many scholars stress the relationship between reconciliation, indigenization, and decolonization. Reconciliation is an ongoing truth-telling process that acknowledges the harms inflicted on Indigenous peoples, families, and communities through years of colonization. Indigenization involves centering Indigenous worldviews through the meaningful inclusion of Indigenous ways of knowing and being. Decolonization is the process of deconstructing colonial ideologies that privilege Eurocentric thought as superior and universal systems of knowledge. Decolonization can be viewed as a part of indigenization. Thank you for watching this short video that provided a recap of the important things to note within this chapter. On this journey, you will continue to learn through stories told, narratives shared, videos watched, podcasts listened to, and materials read, all intended to illuminate a pathway towards justice and equity.